aren't feeling as if you're letting your jaw just drop, as if your muscles have released their grip, then it's not enough. That's number one. So as we exhale, the jaw just falls down. As we inhale, the jaw might come up a little bit, but here's where the tongue comes in. Your tongue actually rises a little bit. Tip of your tongue touches the roof of your mouth. This actually seals the mouth from air coming in. This, in a sense, you can say forces, but it's natural. There's not any tension involved. So although I use the word forces, it's not forceful. This, let's say, causes the air to then go into your nose very easily. And as you can see, if you can see my mouth, I don't have to pull my mouth tight in order to cause the air to go in my nose. It allows me to maintain a relaxation in my jaw. Although the jaw will come up a little bit as the tongue curls, it's still relaxed. Again, as you exhale, the jaw drops and the tongue will now release to a neutral position and project out. It's as if the air is let in. The door's opened, it pours in through our nose, into our belly, and now the door is opened, the jaw bridge in terms of our tongue is let down, and the air just rolls out of our mouth. Again, in and out. As you exhale, any tension in your shoulders and chest, let them just drain down to your belly. Okay? Inhale, don't pump those places of tension up. Just fill the belly, leaving the whole upper body in a neutral position. As you exhale again, the tension drops to your belly, and the tension that your belly is holding is released through your breath too. So your belly just becomes more and more relaxed. Inhale, exhale. I'm not going to get into details today in this podcast. If you'd like details, check out my website. For time limitations, we're not going to be going into that today, but basically, breathing in this manner kicks in the relaxation response. It allows us to override the stress response. It also allows us to deepen the relaxation response if we're not stressed. It's key that your belly is allowed to release, that you allow it to just exhale the tension. If you don't do this, the relaxation response won't properly kick in. And although you'll be breathing from your belly, and although you'll be minimizing the stress you create up here in your shoulders and whatnot, you're not actually going to be directly engaging the relaxation response. So when you do this correctly, it's a response. It's just as if you were to check your reflex on your knee. Someone hit it right, the knee pops up. You hit it wrong, it doesn't pop up. You hit it right, it doesn't pop up, you have a problem. In this case, it's the same thing. If you breathe in correctly and you have the right kind of relaxation in your belly and you're letting the air out effortlessly, you are hitting, in essence, a reflex point. That causes the relaxation response to kick in. There's really not much you can do about it. The level to which skill you've obtained in getting to that relaxation response will affect how long it takes and to an extent how deep you get. But if you do it correctly, even if it's just barely correctly, it'll start to happen. You can and you should bring awareness to the breath coming in and the breath going out. But keep in mind, the relaxation or the reduction in stress you feel by simply taking your mind off your problems is not the same thing as this. If you're paying attention and only aware of your breath, that also is occurring, meaning your awareness is at your breath, therefore your mind is not on the problems, and therefore you're not being stressed. That's part of what's happening, but that's not the core of what's happening. The core of what's happening is you're having a reflex basically going on in your body, which is inducing with hormones released, with physiological things happening in your body itself, not just not focusing on stressful things, now focusing on relaxation things, not just that, but actual physiological shift that changes our body from the sympathetic or stress response to the parasympathetic or relaxation response. I'm not going to get into, as I said, exactly how that happens today. It's not necessarily important at this point. The important thing is that that's what's going to happen if you do this correctly. And to do it correctly, relax your belly. In your nose, in your belly, through your nose, tongue curls up. Good. Now let the air out. Mouth falls, tongue rolls out. Neutral position, projects slightly. In, out. Don't think, how much air should I pull in or how much should I push out? Let your body decide. And don't worry, as I said, Your lungs, instead of filling with the top third of capacity, are filling the whole top third plus the bottom 2/3. So although there's less feeling of air being pulled in, more volume is being filled. In addition to that, more alveoli are being filled as well. Therefore, not just are you getting as much or more air into your lungs, period, but you're actually more efficiently, within the time of your breath, transferring that oxygen into your blood and the waste gases out of your blood. So you're not in a risk of having an oxygen shortage just because you're breathing easily and gently. Take this, play with it, see how it goes. Email me any questions. Visit the website for more information on breathing. And next time, we're going to take this breath and connect it with the structure that we're about to do and show you how they interact and create a synergy. All right, now onto the structure. The body has a basic structure. It's formed by the fact we have 2 legs, the spine, the arms, the ribs, and all these other parts. But exactly what do we do to tweak that to create proper alignment? And that's another basis of all internal practices. When alignment's correct, it makes standing, walking, moving easier. It makes breathing easier. It makes complex movements as well as simple things easier. It takes stress off things like our lower back. It helps take tension out of things like our shoulders. It actually helps increase our awareness, and we'll get into that later on, of what's our situational awareness, our creativity. It aids in blood flow. So I've talked about it. Now what is it? I've talked about what it is, but how do we do it? To do it, you want to start by taking your feet and putting them about shoulder width apart. This is a little too wide, this is a little too narrow for now. Then you're going to want to grab the ground just a little bit. This is your connection to the earth. There's a lot of implications of what this is used for in the martial arts as well as in Qigong. Suffice it to say, this connects you as if your feet are roots to the ground. So your feet are shoulder width apart and grab the ground slightly with the toes as well as the heel, forming a bit of a bowl shape. Now take your legs and round them a little bit, okay? Don't bowl them out from the knee, okay? Like as if you're trying to be a comedian here and do a funny dance. Actually round them from the hips as if you're fitting onto a horse, okay? In Chinese it's called a qima dan. Basically means, basically what you're doing in that case is shaping yourself as if you're holding a horse. Imagine if you're riding bareback and you had to hold a horse, create shape so you didn't slide off, which includes the bottom tapering in as if it was connecting through an oval or the circle in the ground, okay? So there's that shape. When you do this, now your body is connected to the ground. To connect your upper body to your lower body again being connected to the ground, you have to deal with our pelvis. So first of all, our pelvis has to be shifted as such, meaning the tailbone, if you trace your tailbone, will be going out to the back a little bit. You want to rotate that pelvis so that the tailbone is going about straight down, but do so in a way that you're not projecting your hips out, okay? Now there are some Qigong things, types of Tai Chi and stuff that do encourage you to have slightly different pelvic tilts, including having it rotated out a little bit. That's not what we're doing, and there'll be stuff on the website and maybe some stuff later on this show that will explain why we're not doing that and what that is and what the differences are. But that's not basic balanced alignment. Let's just say that for today. So we're starting with the most basic balanced alignment, which then can be adjusted towards different uses, different intentions, different situations, okay? So as we do this, we tilt the pelvis a little bit so that, again, the tailbone's going fairly straight down. Now we all have slightly different pelvises, we have different body structure, male, female, you and me, but basically we're all a little bit too far out generally, and you want to bring it in a little bit. When you do this correctly, you're going to feel the weight start to go straight down into your heels. So you got to feel where that is, okay? You might have a slightly different tilt than I do, but humans are much more alike than different. So although you might have a slightly different amount of degrees you're tilting your pelvis versus mine, or versus the person next to you, or the person that I was teaching last night, no matter what you're doing, you're going to still have the same general adjustment. It's just going to be a little different, and over time you're going to get that right. If this isn't feeling right to you,